everyone. My name is Priyanka Pradhan, and in this video, we are going to discuss about the Numpy in Python. So let's start with it. Basically, Numpy is a Python library. Whenever you want to use arrays in Python, we can use a Numpy library, right? So it has many features. It has also the functions working in domain like linear algebra, Fourier transform, and matrices. Now, NumPy was basically created in 2005 by Travis Oliphant, and it is an open source project and you can use it freely. Basically, it stands for numerical Python, and it is used to create n-dimensional array. We can pass a list, tuples, or any array-like object in the array method, and it will be converted into an n-dimensional array. So starting with this, we should know that how to use a NumPy. These are the basic syntax of NumPy. Simply that these are the variables in which the NumPy array will be created. How it will be done using NumPy library, that is import NumPy as NP. NP is an alias that can be used wherever you want to use a NumPy. So now if in case you want to know the version the NumPy that you are using, you can simply go through np dot then underscore then version and then underscore close the bracket, right? First of all, I'll just execute this statement, this cell, and how this will be executed just by clicking on the run button, or else you can use shift plus enter. When you will use shift plus enter, it will be executed, and you can see if one is being written over here, this shows that this particular cell is being executed. Now, if you want to know the version, so you can give the print, inside the print, you can give this command, that is np dot underscore version underscore, and this will give you the version of numpy that you are going to use. All right. Now, you must be knowing that dimensional, one dimensional, two dimensional, zero dimensional of an array. So here we are just covering this only, that this is a name of the variable in which we are going to use the array of zero dimensional array using np. Np is an alias. So this np dot array, and this we are giving a number that is inside the zero dimensional array, and then in the next we are printing the variable value. So I'll execute this using shift enter, and it will give you array 4 because it's containing one element and of the zero dimensional array, that is array 4. Now moving ahead, when we want one dimensional array, so this is simply another variable you can change, you can take by yourself also, right? Any variable can be taken, but it should be valid variable. So this is a var1, and in this also we are going to use the same np dot array, right? And inside this you are going to pass one dimensional array. These are the values that will be inside the one dimensional array, and then you are printing the value that consists of certain elements inside the array. So executing this, we'll be getting a one dimensional array like this. And in two ways you can execute your numpy. Firstly, you can simply give the variable name. It will give you the resultant as this as an output, right? You can see these are the outputs. And the second way is this, that you can simply give a print statement. Inside this you can pass a particular location of any variable, right? If you want to access the particular value at particular index, suppose I want to know that what is the value at the index 0 or 1 or 2, because the elements index starts with 0 in this, right? So at the 0 location we have one element, at one location we have two element, at two location we have three elements, and so on. So if in case I want to access the first index value, so what will be the value? That is 0, 1, 2 will be the value, right? Because it is at the location 1. You can see the 2 is the resultant, var1, this is a 2 as a resultant, right? Now, if in case I want to add any two values from this array, so it can be easily done, because when once you know that how to access the value from the array, you can easily do any operations on the array. You can add it, you can subtract it, whatever you want. You can multiply, divide, anything, right? So here I have shown you how to add the two values which are inside your array. So this is the first location value, this is 0, 1. So I want to add 2 to the 3, right? At the 3 location is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So 2 and 4. 2 and 4 will be added because 2 is at one location and 4 is at 3 location, and these two are the only one values that I want to add by using this statement. So print and the var1 plus var1 three locations, it gives you the index value. So it gives you resultant as 6 by adding 2 and 4, right? Now let us see that what is the two-dimensional array in NumPy. Similarly, the same thing you have to do it. This is the two-dimensional array. It shows you like this, opening the square bracket, and inside that you will write the two-dimensional array till here. Close the square bracket and close the main bracket, and just print the value that is inside the var2. It will give you as a resultant that this is a array of two dimensional, right? Now if in case I want to access the elements from this, I want to access the elements from one dimensional of this and the two dimensional of this array, right? Second element of the one dimension, like second element will be what? At the location 0, 0 will be this location, 0, 1 will be at this location, 0, and then 0, 2 will be the this location, right? I want to use a second element. So second element will have the location that is 0, 1, right? So how I will do this? I will use a print statement. Then this is the simply statement that you want to write or to be displayed over the output, and this is second element on first dimension. So first dimensions is this one, and the second element at this position is what? At the 0, 1 location. So I'll give the location at particular, that from where I want the value. This is 0, 1 is what? This location. So resultant of this will be 2. Similarly, the second element on second dimension. Second dimension, second element means the location will be of 4 is what? That is 1 and 1, right? 1 and 0, 1 and 1, and 1 and 2, right? The indexes starts like a matrices elements start, right? So here 1, 1 will be the position at 5. So 2 and 5 should be the resultant, right? So 2 is from here, right, at location 0, 1, and here as it is a location 1, 1, so it will give you the value 5. Now next one is three dimensional. This is also the same one. No, simply we have elements of array in three dimensional, and when I'll execute in the similar manner, I'll be getting the array in the three dimensional, right? And similarly as you have done previously, use the variable, use the location, and you will get the value which is at that particular index. And when I execute this, I'll get the value as 6, right? So let's move ahead. Now suppose I want to print the dimensions of arrays, right? I want what is var 0 1 2 3. These are the variables that we have already used here. That means var 0 is of 0 dimensional array, var 1 is of 1 dimensional array, var 2 is for 2 dimensional array, and var 3 is for 3 dimensional array. Now I want to know the dimension of all of the variables that are containing certain array values. So I will use an attribute. This is an attribute, and when I'll use var 0 dot n dimensional, it will give you n dimensional array, right? Similarly, for the rest of the variables, executing this, you'll be getting a dimensional of every array. Now, what is a shape? Simply the number of rows and columns will give you the shape of an array, right? Suppose you have this, right? In this, you have a number of rows is what? Number of rows is only the number of elements is what? 6 and 1 and 6, right? Similarly, here the number of rows is 2 and number of columns is 3, right? So these are the shape when you multiply by 2 or 2 and 3 rows. So it will give you the shape as 6, right? So I just execute the shape to get the shape of every array that we have used. Like this is the shape, right? So like the first one was what? Zero dimensional array, so it gave you 0. In second one you have 6 elements, right? So it gives you the 6, right? As you have are having 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 columns, and then 2 into 3 will give you 6, again 6, because you have 2 rows and the columns, right? And this is also 2 into 2, that is 4, and this 3 will give you 12 elements. So the number of elements will give you the shape, that what is actually the shape, right? It will, when you will multiply this one, you will get the shape. And if you want to know the actual number of elements, that will give you the size of array, right? Let's see. So this is a size that is just showing you that how many elements are there in your array variables. All right. Next one is your printing element of elements in array. Then you are going to use the type to know the type of value your array is, right? So shift enter, it will give you the integer 32 bits, right? So every array variables that are consisting of certain values are of integer type. Now in NumPy also you can use array in the form of tuple. Tuple is always the number of simple elements that is enclosed in this type of variables, right? It can be of different types. So if you want a tuple as array, you can simply use np.array and give or pass tuple inside this bracket and print the tuple. It will give you as a simple tuple, right? Now it is a tuple, it's not an array, right? Now in NumPy, if you want zeros, only zeros matrices and only one matrices, you can simply use zeros, right, method, and then inside this you can give number of rows and columns of what shape actually you want of zero matrices and print the x value. Now just you can see this is a number of rows, that is 2, and number of columns, that is 3. Similarly is the same case as with the ones. Here also the same method is there, simply np dot ones and then 2 comma 2 will give you the number of rows and the columns. So here our number of rows is what? 2, and number of columns is 2. So let's execute. So it's just giving you the 1, right? So that's all just a small introduction of NumPy. There are many things more to cover. So thank you all for watching this. That's all for today.